Welcome back to Game Crunch, everyone. Keeping you up to date with the latest in the video game world. Now, today, got a couple updates we're going to have to go over, including Remedy Entertainment. So they're the makers of Alan Wake and Control. They've given us some updates on how some of the gameplay is going to work for the upcoming sequel to Control, Control 2, as well as some of their franchises, how it's going to work. So Alan Wake and Control moving over to TV and movies. And then on top of that, we've got some updates from the story that I covered yesterday about Sony buying out Kadokawa, who owns Fromsoftware, who makes the Dark Souls Elden Ring games. More on that in a second. But of course, if you like to stay up to date with the latest in the video game world, consider giving Game Crunch a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, really appreciate it. And if you like this video, if you find this info helpful, please give the video a like. Let's just get right into it. So real quick update before we get into the news about what Remedy's up to. If you remember a couple days ago, I also covered something about the PS5 Pro and how some of the games just weren't running as well on the PS5 Pro as they were on the base model. Well, we started to hear some updates from Sony and from Bloober Team saying that they are working on these issues, so I just wanted to make you guys aware in case you did buy a PS5 Pro and you're playing Silent Hill 2 or you're playing Star Wars and you're having these issues. They are aware and they are working on them. So, first up, Control is actually going full action RPG. Remedy Entertainment confirmed the exciting news during its Capital Markets Day results. While they're keeping the details under wraps, this signals a bold evolution for the beloved Supernatural series. Development is underway with co-financing from Annapurna Interactive, who is also helping bring Remedy's IPs to film, TV, and more. According to Remedy's communications director, this partnership allows the studio to fully realize their vision for Control 2 while expanding their worlds to new audiences. And speaking of successes, Alan Wake 2 has hit 1.8 million units sold, with its DLC, The Lake House, teasing Remedy's next big project. Plus, Control Ultimate Edition will arrive on Mac next year, so mark your calendars for February 12th. Remedy is also expanding the Control universe with another game, FBC Firebreak. The studio is truly firing on all cylinders right now. What are your thoughts on Control 2 turning to an RPG? Let me know down in the comments. And personally, I'm pretty pumped for Control 2. So Control was one of those pleasant surprises that I found on Game Pass. I just decided to download it and try it out. And it was one of those just excellent games that I kind of probably wouldn't have played without Game Pass. And then, as far as Alan Wake goes, I've never played it, but it is on my list of games to play. Now let me know down in the comments, should I move Alan Wake up my list of games to play and just get to it a little sooner? Now, let's shift gears over to Sony's latest power move. Kadokawa Corporation, parent company of Fromsoftware, has confirmed receiving an official letter of intent from Sony to acquire the company. This comes after reports earlier in the week that suggested talks were ongoing. While no final decision has been made, Kadokawa acknowledged Sony's interest in purchasing shares, stating they'll update the public if an agreement is reached. So, what's at stake? Kadokawa owns Fromsoftware, creators of Elden Ring and Dark Souls, as well as Spike Chunsoft, developers of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. They also own the studio Acquire, which is the studio behind Octopath Traveler 2. Keen investors are already reacting. Kadokawa's share price soared 23% this week, reaching its highest value ever. With this acquisition, Sony could cement its dominance in both gaming and anime, as Kadokawa also owns multiple anime production houses. So imagine Fromsoftware as a PlayStation exclusive developer. Possibilities there are endless. Do you think this deal is going to go through? And if it does, how do you think it's going to reshape gaming? Let's hear down below your predictions. So it is looking more and more like this deal is going to happen, with Kadokawa confirming that they received a letter of intent from Sony to buy the company. So clearly Sony does want to buy the company. And if you remember from the report yesterday, they're saying that they could come to a decision in the coming weeks, which means we could know as early as before Christmas, even into the new year. Now, keep in mind though, if you remember the Microsoft Activision acquisition and how long that took over 2 years for that to actually go through. I don't imagine, because this deal is not quite as big as that deal, I don't imagine it's going to take quite as long, but we probably won't see a finalized deal for, I'd say, at least a year. But as always, let me know what your thoughts are down below. What did you think of Control? Are you excited for Control 2? Are you excited to see more RPG elements or any of the TV shows or anything that are coming out for Alan Wake and Control? And what are your thoughts on this whole Sony acquisition of Kadokawa? Do you think it's good for gaming, bad for gaming? I think personally it's probably going to be pretty bad for Xbox specifically, but only time will tell. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning in again today, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Have a good one.